Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tabletop Almanac. My name is Simon, and I am bringing you a new actual play with these fine people. We are running a Chronicle of the True Black Hand. All the Devils Are Here for Vampire the Masquerade 20th Anniversary Edition. You may have already seen our session 0, where we, well, talked a fair bit about the Black Hand and a fair bit about the game and so on and so forth. A couple things we had not yet established. The game will be set in Wyoming. Wyoming, for those of you who do not know, and for those of you who do know, this is redundant, but I'm going to tell you anyway, is not a highly populated state. If you were to take the traditional one vampire for 100,000 people, it would be these guys and maybe one other running around. So we're not, but there's only about like 30 to 40 of them anyway in the entire state. The characters, our Black Hand column here, has a cult as part of their background. Are we going with the friendly ghosts? This is your doomsday cult?
So. Yeah.
So they've created a doomsday cult to which their characters are the secret masters of, which operates out of Casper, Wyoming, and basically owns Casper. They put a lot of points into it, and those points beget a sizable number of other backgrounds, giving them a shit ton of influence and pull and resources all around the city and in some of the state. A couple of little setups then is that each sort of county of Wyoming is its own domain, but the prince rules from Cheyenne. It is a Camarilla state, though of course there's always a potential for roving Sabbat packs and anarchs kind of getting all anarchy in various cities as they try to break off. It'll be an interesting place to set it. Kind of like the idea of the lack of urban area for a vampire game. Though, that being said, Casper is still a pretty well-off city, hence why they are set up there. They are all pretending to be Camarilla members. I don't know, we didn't conclude if you're the same coterie or not. Yes, no, do you want to do that?
We don't need to be the same coterie. We control the city. It's more than enough for them to think that we are, at best, frenemies.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So they're all Camarilla members doing their own Camarilla things, possibly under pseudonyms, possibly under their real names. It all depends on what they themselves felt like doing. So what we're going to do to start off is we're going to go around the table-ish, and everyone's going to introduce themselves and the character they are playing. You can say whatever you want about yourself, and then just your character, your clan, maybe your cover, if you have established a cover. If you have not yet, as a player, established a cover, that's totally cool. You are incognito as whatever we decide you are, until such time as is necessary. And then, yeah, I guess that's about it. So say your clan, say who you're pretending to be, and any differences it may be, and give us just a little tidbit on your characters, how they dress, how they behave, things that the folks at home may find interesting. And we'll start in top left of me. So Ryan.
All right. My name is Ryan Clark. I am playing the La Sombra Antritribu. Oh, excuse me. My name is Ryan Clark. I'm playing the La Sombra Antritribu, Ambrose Blakely. He is a man of faith and a doctor with a very twisted view of what it means to be a man of faith, knowing that the damned walk the earth as a plague on the kind. He does not pretend to be someone who he is not in the Camarilla, beyond hiding his affiliation in the Tal'Mahe'Ra. He has a little bit of status within the Camarilla of Wyoming as an alternate source of information on the occult to the Tremere, as well as being a student of the Sabbat.
All right. Cool. We'll move down to Toli.
Hey everyone, my name is Anatoliy, or Toli for short. I am playing a Toreador Antritribu by the name of Zephyrine. I imagine her to be someone that is a little bit empty inside, and in that emptiness comes a desire for the sort of perverse that the Toreador are known for. Apart from that, she's very quick, very manipulative, very much a hedonist at the same time, even though she sort of has embraced nihilism. So she'll be very fancily dressed. She'll use the resources that we have to live as extravagantly as possible for an end goal, which is a sort of mutual destruction.
Nice. Okay. Next, Suni.
Hi, my name is Suni, and I am playing a siren from the Daughters of Cacophony. Her name is Thessalia, and I have decided that she is a opera singer, and she is obsessed with finding the perfect note. I would describe her as like a spoiled, flirty, opportunistic vampire with like a big ego. And I haven't decided on the like incognito undercover part. But yeah.
Default, you can always, Daughters of Cacophony always double well as Toreador, on account of the whole like artsy thing. But we can establish that as we go, and you feel it out and see what you want. All right, and then last but not least, Ray.
Hi, my name's Ray. I am playing an Okan Sinisi named Nikolai. Nikolai is very much a scientist occultist. He's based in a reservation, doing research into spirits there. In terms of manner of dress, when he's himself, he's just probably just in a lab coat, stained, dirty, doesn't really pay much attention to his appearance. But for his cover identity, he's masquerading as like a relatively high generation Toreador. And he tries too hard to look like a hipster.
All right, cool. And if you watch our session 0, you may notice we do have, sadly, one member absent who will not be able to join for the game due to a variety of conflicts. But his character, the true Bruja, known as Macias, will make an appearance ever so briefly. I've been given blessing to say it that way. So, without further ado, our Black Hand column is in Wyoming to keep an eye out as part of the Long Crusade for Infernalism and other infernal nastiness that they are here to, well, kill and destroy, because demons bad for everybody, and the Black Hand good for everybody, sort of. But okay, so we begin. It is summer in Wyoming. In fact, we'll say it is the beginning of June. Due to its elevation, it's particularly it's not an overly hot state, and not particularly humid, which actually sounds delightful. But it is nighttime in Casper. The city is abuzz with tourism and people enjoying the various sights that are to be seen. Thessalia. How do you pronounce it?
Thessalia.
Is let's say it's late. It's 11 p.m. Thessalia is finishing a concert in one might call it an indie opera house. In the same way that you can walk around Nashville and walk into any little bar and see a future country star. Casper has a variety of small establishments, and in one of them, they're being treated to a magnificent opera by our cacophonist here. Ambrose, I imagine, would probably be in his shack. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
In his storm cellar. His books.
In the storm cellar with his books. That's where we all want to be some days. Nikolai also in his equivalent to a shack, doing some study on the spirits and such. All right. And that leaves us with Zephyrine, who I think we sort of establishes kind of the face of the column towards the cult.
Yeah, very, very outworldly.
So we'll begin with you. And well, it begins as a phone call from one of the I don't know what exact term. Let's use a deacon, perhaps, in the cult. One of the kind of middle management, but with aspirations of getting a bit higher. He's a police lieutenant. Boss.
Yes.
We have something that you and the others might want to look into. It's one of those things that you ask us to keep an eye out for. One of the signs, the symptoms.
I'm listening. Hurry up. My time is short.
We have the place surrounded, but we're apprehensive about going in. We don't want another Waco or anything like that. There's a group who sort of set up shop just outside the city, and they have a little house, a little ranch out there, and we got reports that they were, one of those anonymous phone calls saying there's going to be a mass suicide out there. So we made a move, and now it seems like they're potentially all still alive, but they're refusing to let anybody out, and and anybody in, of course, and we don't want to go in guns blazing and set them off. The thing is, though, they, and can't believe this slipped under our noses. Their leader claims to be he claims that he speaks to the devil Abaddon. It's one of the 5 arch devils. And look, we're as ready to go down fighting as anybody, but this seems more your territory, you and the others.
Yes. How long have you kept them preoccupied for?
It's been about half an hour, 45 minutes or so. We don't want to push him. We don't want to, drive anyone to anything drastic. It always seems like it's supposed to be drastic, and
Keep them busy for another half hour. You've done well, Lieutenant, but I'll take over from here.
Roger that. We'll be here when you arrive.
Yes, keep them occupied. Make sure they don't leave. Make sure no one comes in or out.
Yep.
Do you understand?
Yeah. Yes. Yes, sir. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Failure is not an option here. I'm going to hang up the phone.
Okay.
All right. Well.
Group chat?
Group chat it is, yeah. Gonna text everybody. Going to use our cover names. And given the history that we have with one another, we'll use a, sort of coded language, emojis and whatnot to sort of get the point across of like, all right, we possibly have some demons. This is gonna be fun.
All right.
Okay,
so that would have to go to one of the retainers to come and physically get me.
Yes. Yeah, for you and possibly Nikolai.
Yeah.
It's well established that there's there's a middle person you've got to alert to come knock on the door.
Oh yeah, knowing how insular they are. Yeah, I'm going to instruct our retainers to do just that.
Okay. So, unless I presumed incorrectly, there's a knock on Ambrose and Nikolai's doors, respectively. Telephone. Let's start with Ambrose.
All right. Oh, the rusty steel doors would peel open. You want me?
Her Eminence sent a message. It looks urgent.
Where do we need to be?
And he drops a pin on a little ranch not far out of Casper.
I will get my bag, and then you will drive me.
The Jeep is ready. Nikolai? There's also a knock. Boom, boom, boom.
Door opens by itself.
Boss. Message.
What?
Grand High Eminence, her name. She says there's something you need to look at.
Okay.
You'll want to go here if you need to get anything together. Do you need to drive?
Of course.
I'll be waiting. And then, Thessalia, your phone bings with the text message and the location and all the respective demon emojis.
Thessalia looks at her phone. She has like a little keychain with a wine glass hanging off of it, and she responds with a bunch of crying emojis, and then sends an emoji of a car with a bag of money. And Zephyrine would know this means, please send me a nice car.
Which I presume Zephyrine does.
Oh yeah, because Thessalia is the only ones who actually answer, and I admire her quick response. She's gonna get the Range Rover.
All right. Okay. And so, about a half hour later, just past midnight, the four of you arrive. There are police cars out already. There's a SWAT team. Yeah, I mean, this looks like it could go wrong very, very readily. There is no immediate sign that the Infernal is at work here. Still, you got the lieutenant's word to go on for that. And but apart from that, it's a pretty simple 2-story whitewashed building. It's like a block, right? It's got a couple of windows on the side, top floor, bottom floor, plain door. There's a fence around it. There's a barn off to the side. The typical sort of things you'd expect from a ranch. For the record, I don't know if there literally is a ranch that close to Casper, but in the world of darkness, there is. So, the atmosphere is tense. You can all... even though you no longer ascribe to the things that once made you human, you can feel the tension and the nervousness off of the kind. The lieutenant approaches. Sirs? Ma'ams?
Yes. Give me a status report.
It's been silent. We made a request to send out, well, anyone, but nothing came of it just yet. We asked. We've been waiting. As you can see, the lights are off. We've run drones as close to the building as we can. They're on their own generator, so we couldn't do anything to the power. We don't know what's going on in there.
Has anyone responded to any forms of communication?
No, not since I spoke with you.
All right, Lieutenant, thank you for the information. I will need you and your men to stand down.
How do you want us to do that?
I think your presence here maybe doing more harm than good. Turn off the sirens, turn off the lights, turn off any body cameras.
Okay.
And create some distance.
Perimeter?
Extend it to 300 yards.
Okay. Okay. Gets on his radio. Messages that around. There's a couple of... What are you, serious? But he sort of... He speaks with a particular firmness. One that's understood in Casper to mean these orders come from much higher than their everyday orders. And the police, the emergency vehicles, they kind of go silent and start moving back. Within a short time, they have a distance. So it's the four of you, the cool night air, the moon shining, big silver dollar up above, and this darkened compound.
Yeah, so let me ask, I know we have a cult. How much would they know about us, our powers? My goal here is to make things hard for them to see, hard for them to hear, under the assumption that even though they follow us, they might not know truly who we are.
So I think that is a good question for the group. My thoughts would be that because you established them to be like an end times cult, these are people who are already ready to accept the fact that there is some sort of supernatural end time coming, that they have a role in either furthering it or at least surviving it, or ascending through it. And while I guess at sort of big cult meetings, I imagine you would appear sort of incognito if you appeared at all. I mean, like in the sense of, crazy masks and robes and stuff like that, maybe. Something theatrical, but that's really up to you. I think most people in Casper wouldn't know who you were, but the people who have some sort of rank would at least know that there's something up about you. And because if you've ever exhibited any sort of supernatural thing, which is a violation of Masquerade, but you also own the city, so and basically everyone in it, the cult may see you as some sort of divine beings in a way.
Yeah, I think.
But that's my guess.
Angle.
It depends on what you all want.
Yeah, the angle that I would play as Zephyrine is we need these people alive for our cover and for our end goal. So while it may seem that I'm protecting them, I'm also protecting ourselves. There's a lot of self-interest in these decisions. The other thing is too that we do have an influence that is very, we have that presence, we have that charisma to sort of convince people that we can do anything. If we can get people to stand down, like we are those people,
right? Just
from talking to them.
I'm sort of thinking this scene is like in the first Hellboy when the two of them show up at the museum, but it's less like, kind of tongue-in-cheek BPRD and more absolutely terrifying. 4 vampires show up at a compound and hilarity ensues.
Yeah, it's considering that we're all dressed differently too.
Yeah.
Well, how about this? I am a doctor. How about I just walk up to the front door and knock?
And what do you hope to achieve by doing that?
Having them open the door.
You are more than welcome to try, Ambrose. I hope you'll be able to stitch yourself up, though, if things go awry.
I am not worried about myself. Besides, if I can get close enough to find out where the generator is, I can choke it out. And then they will truly be in the dark and in my domain.
I love the Sombra.
I do like the sound of that. Speaking of sound, Thessalia, any ideas, my dear?
Thessalia puts a hand on her hip and she tilts her head and she goes, I'm not one for making ideas. I kind of just go with what feels right. You know, a little singing, a little screaming, nice things like that. Just point me in the direction.
Well, once they're in Ambrose's domain, I'm sure there will be much screaming to be heard, much to the delight of all of us.
Not if I do it right. Might have to perk up your ears a little bit to make sure you can hear it if that's what you want.
I welcome it then. Nikolai, any plans? Any ideas?
Common courtesy to always talk first.
This is true.
So,
Well then, Ambrose, you've convinced me. The stage is yours.
All right. I, in my Gladstone bag, walk straight to the front door.
okay.
As it is dark, turning on the controllable night sight, see what I can actually see in those windows.
Okay. So the windows are on the side. So it's, I guess night. How we want to play night sight? Do you want to play it like literal?
So
like,
yeah, so
night
basically
sight,
works
or?
it's controllable night sight. So what it basically does is it turns pitch, like total darkness is like perfect daylight, and it works backward, works the opposite. So so moonlight would be like a cloudy day. Let's say like that.
So it's a cloudy day, and so he would probably be then subject to any like other visual impairments that might be normal for that. Yes. Like
So like if it's
not like a reflection on the window, for example, but like it's not like he has that green sight kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's perfectly normal vision, except for that I basically see better at night. In perfect darkness is perfect non-supernatural darkness. It doesn't help me with any supernatural darkness. It's basically perfect. Like a bright sunny day is equivalent of totally perfect blackness for me versus, so it gives you the idea of the spectrum. So if it's really dark, where like it's really hard to see, you wouldn't be able to see like 2 or 3 feet in front of your face, I can see out into the distance and see what is to be seen there.
Okay, so the windows on the ground floor are all the type that have that crisscross kind of wiring for breaking, which does inhibit slightly your ability to see inside. That being said, Though it's dark inside, you have night sight, so you can see. The couple of windows that you can see in appear to look onto the kitchens, a meeting room, and what looks like a rec room of some sort. The front door is solid except for that sort of thin strip window with the same crisscrossing wire behind it. Now, what you can see through each of those, besides the... Well, and that leads to a hallway. Looking through the front door, the hallway is lined... well, a couple of doors, turns, other doors, presumably leading to all the different rooms, but slumped down up against the walls are a variety of bodies, and their heads are down. Let's see, in the hallway there's maybe three. Two of them have their heads down, chins tucked in, but one is back like that, and you can see that their throat is just torn open. There is a minimal amount of blood around. In the three rooms I described that you can see through the windows, it's a little messier. There are bodies and body parts sort of scattered about. It's in fact, I mean, at least at your vantage point, it's very difficult in some cases to tell what belongs to whom. And in here, there's a little less. It's a little less tidy than the hallway. Well, let's just not mince words. It's an abattoir of the kind in here. But with a bit of a glance and some doctor knowledge, you're pretty sure this is not the entirety of the group in these rooms.
All right. I turn back and yell, I don't think anybody will mind us coming in. And then just snap the door handle off because I've got potence too.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Everybody else?
You heard the gentleman. Let's head on in. And I will lead the way and motion for the others over.
Yeah. Consensus? Yep. Okay.
I will be looking for anyone who might still be alive to perform first aid upon them.
Okay. All right. Checking. Does anyone have Auspex? Any heightened senses?
I do.
Yeah.
I have Auspex 3.
Okay. Okay. Well, so what heightened perceptions and so on is everybody using, if they are? Just so I know.
Now, probably just hearing.
Hearing. Okay. Anyone else got anything like that up? Anything that you think I should know about in terms of what you could detect that an average human could not?
Unless somebody's turning on the lights, just my control light. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Sunni?
I can feel the presence of elemental spirits.
You're what? Checking for presence of
I can feel the
spirits?
presence of elemental spirits.
Okay.
For me, I read that the Daughters of Cacophony always hear music, so that might be more of a hindrance for her.
Right.
Yeah, I think the penalties on most observation stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Pay
also
attention. What?
I read in the lore of the bloodlines that she could maybe hear or see the pulse of blood through veins and stuff like that.
Okay.
Because it's rhythmic in a way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your weakness is that you hear music constantly. So, how does it manifest? Is it like synesthesia, or is it some sort of hallucination? How does it show for her?
So I was thinking it would be like it'll show up as like natural things like birds or like flowers falling, petals like falling, could be blood, stuff like that.
Depending on the music?
Yeah, depending on the music.
Okay, all right. That's fun. Okay, so let's play with that. So, the music in this building is highly dissonant. It sounds like, to be honest, it sounds like the greatest of early industrial, such as artists like Einstürzend and Neubauten, banging metal rods against drums in abandoned factories, things like that. But it's arrhythmic. It's not. There's no composition to it. It's very distracting in that sense. Hence why it's a weakness of yours. Heightened senses hearing. Whispers. From.
Can I make out what they're saying?
Nope. Yeah, it seems like it's too far away. Or muddled by something. There's a door in the way or something like that.
Is it from our level, or is it like underneath us?
No, it seems like it's on your
Ground floor?
Yeah. So
there's definitely people here with muttering something.
Are you trying the doors as you walk through, or are you leaving them alone? I know at least one of you doesn't need to worry about locks.
Yeah, I'm not checking the doors. I'm checking bodies to see if any of the ones that we can see are alive.
Okay.
So I can try to stabilize them.
So in this hallway, the three that are there are not alive. In fact, they've been exsanguinated entirely.
That's good to know.
With that last one being a bit messier in execution. Haha.
I'd probably check the doors if no one else ahead of me does.
Okay. The
but
door.
I definitely wouldn't be the first one in. So.
But you'll open them.
Yeah. If no one else, I'll definitely check them.
I'll open them and then walk away.
Yeah.
Someone else can deal with it.
Well, like you said, there's also the option of, like, if you've heard something, you can point at something and have somebody else open it too, right?
So none of the whispering's coming from behind the doors at this stretch of the hallway yet. But when you open them, they are, well, first unlocked, and the inside, a few of these seem to be kind of, I guess the best way to describe it are kind of dorm room sort of things. 2 beds to a room. It's pretty Spartan. And the inhabitants are initially they are exsanguinated like the first couple of bodies in the hallway, but the deeper or the further you go, the less tidy it is, and the less exsanguinated they are, to the point of before you reach the end of the hallway and stand in front of its door, from which behind you can hear the whispering. The bodies are just butchered corpses.
Someone is locking control.
It's very interesting to not ask anyone to make humanity rolls or anything of the sort on account of the fact that none of you would be affected by that sort of thing. Well, actually, some of you might be, but I don't. But you'll have to check your own hierarchy of sins for that.
My question to you is there any sort of commonality amongst the bodies? In the sense, like, is it a sports team? Like, for instance, high school footballers? All of them? Or, you know, are they part of some sort of shop or department club? Are these people from town that we know?
It's possible you may have seen one of them at some point. When you're finally able to, for the ones you're able to actually make out their faces, it's conceivable that you have seen them at some point, but you don't really know. You see a lot of faces, and the kind are still kind of just the kind, even though you're hoping to, in the great tradition of the Black Hand, not have them all die.
I'm going to touch the body that looks like it's the most ruined.
Okay.
And use Spirit Touch on it.
All right. Talk me through Spirit Touch. I don't remember it right off the top of my head.
Spirit Touch is the player rolls perception plus empathy. The difficulty will be determined by the age of the impressions and the mental and spiritual strength of the person or object, person or event that left behind. So information from a pistol used from murdered hours ago may be difficulty 4.
Okay.
Plus a puppet a century ago might be difficulty 9. The greater the individual's emotion connection to the object, the stronger the impression it leaves on it. The more information I can get from it.
Okay. All right, difficulty 6.
To me, one each success can give information depending on the chart for it. And
also,
as a storyteller discretion, some questions may be so strong, unlike plunging into seasons into breath, etc., that any use of it will be deemed success.
Okay. I'm going to set a difficulty 6, and you can go ahead and roll, and ask me what you want to know.
I got 3 successes, so doesn't let me know that much. More information such as the last owner, that's metaphor corpse.
Yeah.
Agent state of the mind, the last time he used the object, I guess. Probably.
State of mind? Blissful.
Age?
Age?
I get to, yeah.
This one, 30s.
I don't have anything for the third question because it's all basic stuff like gender, hair color. And
Man,
I don't really care.
Brown hair.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Did you mention you heard the voices from the one room?
Yeah, I did.
Well, after I've checked the bodies and found they've just been exsanguinated, I'm going to put my ear up against the door. I speak 5 different languages: English, French, Latin, Aramaic, and Enochian.
Okay. Good to clarify the
Yes, I think that might be important.
Mm-hmm.
I also have natural linguists, so if that plays into maybe if I don't speak the language, I can identify the language.
It is Enochian.
Very good. And what are they saying?
They're saying Welcome to the Hidden One. Grandmother returns. Fallen Ashur rises. On repeat.
All right. Sunday, I turn to you. I can't remember your character's name. I apologize.
Thessalia?
Yes. Thessalia. I am going to kick that door in, and you're going to scream as loud as you can. Do you understand?
And she gives like this like bratty look, and she's like wearing an opera coat. So she's like, she pulls it up and like bundles it together. She goes, "Ah, how dare you make demands of me?" But she gives a nod that she understands.
I'm definitely gonna turn off my Osmax hearing for that happens.
You heard me. I said it out loud, so that's fair.
Yep. Everyone knew this was coming.
Yep. I kick the door in and immediately hit the ground and cover my ears.
Okay.
And she lets out a piercing scream.
Are we using a discipline here, or just a screw?
Well, I'm using potence to kick the door in.
Oh, sure. Yes.
Yes. And I will, if the door looks more solid than normal, I will spend the blood for the automatic successes for my 2 potence.
No, you're good. Two potence is enough to knock this in.
But yeah, I'm hoping our daughter of Cacophony is using some. That's what I was hoping for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
what?
you can. You can be loud. I don't know. Do you have Shattering Crescendo yet? Level 6 Melpomene? Okay, that's fine.
Right there.
Okay, well, a loud scream will do.
Okay.
It's still pretty. What is your Melpomene level?
5.
Almost there. I'll try to give you all enough experience so you can get to that one, because Shattering Crescendo is fun. So she lets out a deafening scream. The room is, well, this one's a little more decorated than the others. It's a dining hall, and the bodies strewn about are done so in a circle. In the middle stands a man. He's balding. He's got a mustache. Naked, covered in blood, especially around his face. He has a bread knife in one hand and some sort of spike in the other. And he's pale. Kindred can tell their own, and this man is a vampire, and he's sort of swaying in place, muttering to himself, whispering, and then of course the screeching stops and covers his ears. So anyone else can take an action before he reacts to it.
I mean, I see no reason why I wouldn't use our perception on him. So,
okay. Is it automatic? It's been a while.
What?
Is it automatic? It's been a while for me.
No, it's
Still a roll?
I have to teach you that.
Okay.
I just stare at the subject for a few seconds.
Oh, all right. Okay, so you're doing that. What's everyone else doing?
That is a good question. I'm just enjoying the sight right now. This is something that I've seen happen before, and I'm curious if Thessalia's voice can take whoever's inside down. So I'll wait for just a couple of seconds.
I got 3 successes.
3 successes. All right. You recognize the color patterns. Okay. So, vampire. With black veins in his aura, marking him as a Diablerist. And then swirls of green, suggesting an obsession. Violet for excited. And then, sort of in the center of him, there's this swirling of yellow and black, indicating both idealistic and hateful.
Fascinating. Someone's been a naughty boy.
In Enochian. What is that screech? For the benefit of Amber, since no one else speaks it.
Yeah, I stand up in Enochian, I go, "You have called the devils. We have arrived."
You are not. You are not who I was expecting. Where is grandmother?
She sent us because you were not worthy.
Not so. I have done everything. Look upon the ground.
I have, and that's why I know she will not come, and why she sent us.
If you're still,
do you not wonder why you summoned a demon and 4 rode to see you?
No, this was what I was told.
And whoever told you this was a liar, or if you taught yourself, you were a fool.
No,
Now shut up, sit down, and let the adults deal with this.
Do I make an intimidation roll or dominate?
Oh yeah, and I'm going to pull on my penetration as well, and also with my penetration, do a little Fear of the Dead.
Okay.
A little Fear of the Dead, because
for the other 3,
that's...
let's have some sort of like flickering light source for mood. But
let me double check the exact. Of course, that was the one I forgot to put into my into my cheat sheet of disciplines was my thing, but it works right off of trade spirits, combo disciplines. Fear of the dark, dominate 2, obtenebration 2, which I have. Manipulation plus intimidation, difficulty 6. Each successive vampire may force one person, mortal or supernatural, in the immediate vicinity to see frightening shapes within the shadows. If the target fails a courage check, the difficulty 8, she runs in terror.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, so I'm going to do my obtenebration, try to terrify them, and then just intimidate them normally at the same time, because why not just be a complete monster?
I mean,
Manipulation and intimidation. Oh, I'm good at that. 2, 4, 6, 7. Would my natural linguists qualify for this, as I'm trying to terrify him with his failed theology?
Sure.
All right. Two successes. That's more than enough. I just need to make sure that I needed 1.
Yep.
I'm not going to try to terrify any of my friends.
Oh, good.
They haven't done anything to piss me off tonight, so I don't just randomly scare one of them because I can. So yes, he can make a courage check, difficulty 8.
So he makes a courage check, but he still sees this stuff, right? So he just has to run in fear.
Yes, he still sees this stuff.
Yeah.
And I am still just so I'm just trying to do that with the discipline, and I'm also just trying to subdue his will through being a horrible, horrible human being.
Okay.
Or monstrous thing. I don't know, what's the difficulty for the intimidation?
Let's give it a 6. Nice and standard.
Yeah, it looks like 4 with a 10. No, 4 with 2 10s. Sorry, 2 10s.
Okay. And he drops the things he's holding. You see the spike is a meat thermometer. And his bread knife on the ground. He sort of curls up into a ball, starts swatting in the air. The wings, they plague me. What's everyone else doing while our poor beleaguered vampire here is subject to the tender ministrations of Ambrose? Zephyrine?
I don't really think that there's much to do. I think Ambrose has it under control right now. Okay. I'm very much amused by this. Yeah, I'm still watching, although I got a knife at the ready should I need it.
Okay. And Nikolai and Thessalia.
I'm probably not doing anything right now.
I would like, all right, walk with me. I want to use the Madrigal power to kind of get our vampire here to be more willing to tell us the truth.
Okay.
I want some more information. And the song that I would say she would sing is Give Me Some Truth by John Lennon. That's the song that she would pick.
All right. Okay.
And that's charisma and performance.
Yep. Difficulty 7.
Okay.
In a fifth of the Kindred's audience. Oh, everyone who hears is gonna. Everyone here is gonna get this too. Although, no. Okay, so normally you can resist it for the scene by spending a willpower point. If they have a reason to believe that they are being affected by something, your column mates would definitely be conscious of your ability to use this power. But I don't think everyone's got to be spending willpower points every time you used it, so that's okay. Them being conscious of it, they won't have to spend willpower points, but anyone else would. I'm gonna storyteller fiat and nix that willpower point expenditure for everybody else. So go ahead and make your roll.
So that's 10 dice. 1, 2, 3. 4 successes. 1 is a 10.
All right. There. They won't Leave me alone. Okay, so he's still kind of in his like terrified state, but
All right. So I'm going to go. Cool. I'm going to lean down, take the meat thermometer, put my Gladstone bag down, pull out a mallet, like an actual like mallet that you could hurt somebody with, and go. Look carefully into my eyes, and I will make the wings go away.
Please take them. They plague me, like those of the one above, its servants. Damned be it.
So he's actually going to do that? Perfect. I put the meat thermometer up to his eye and give him a lobotomy.
Oh, okay. Huh. I wonder what that does to vampires.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I got intellect 5 and medicine 4, so I'm going to lobotomize him.
Yeah.
And then go, it's your problem now, friends.
Okay.
I'll just stand up and I go, you should find him significantly more cooperative.
Good job, Ambrose.
So he takes his hands away and looks up, meat thermometer with the dial just sticking out behind his eye. Sort of sits down and slumps. The music. He starts speaking in English now. Such music. And just back and forth to the sides.
I'm gonna make my way towards him. What would be, I guess, the best way to... So I have my enchanting voice, which helps with all of these sort of social skills that I have. But I'm gonna come up to him and try to coerce him gently.
Well, if you want him to talk,
yeah,
you're aware that Thessalia has already sung a song of truth, so he's going to do that. Plus, he's been lobotomized, so anything you do is like gravy, basically. At this
He's
stage.
pretty compliant right now.
He's very compliant and very willing to be open about things.
Oh, goody. So then I will ask, how many of there are you?
We are Legion.
Yes, that's cute and all. Give me a number.
I am the Harbinger. I am the first. More will come.
Give me names. And I start tapping my foot impatiently.
He starts rattling off a list of names. Anyone have... Well, okay. So I know some have theology and some have occult. Anyone have mythology or anything like that? So it's a list. Basically, he starts listing off a variety of biblical names, of angels, of demons, of like creatures of denizens of ancient Babylon, gods, etc. It's basically like he opened up a book of mythology and just like listed off the dramatis personae in terms of names. So some of them don't actually really, some of them you'll hear like Nergal, but having been part of the Long Crusade, you know that Nergal is a Bali of ancient power and was destroyed at a certain point long, long ago. Is it possible that he's going to show up again? Maybe. Does it seem likely? If this is your run-of-the-mill infernalist, maybe not. You know, Tiamat, Marduk. Do you really think that these ancient Babylonian gods are going to show up as in Casper? Again, weirder things may have happened, but you know.
This man is useless. Y'all can do with him what you will. And I'm gonna look around the room, see if there are any sort of notes, any writings, references, newspaper clippings, something or other.
No.
I don't see this guy much of a threat right now.
He painted a crude circle in the ground in blood. Which he's standing in the middle of.
Yeah, I'm not skilled in occult, so if he's inside of a summoning circle, that is beyond me right now.
Mm-hmm.
I have political connections and not much else. So unless someone names some senators or something, I am losing interest in this guy.
Can we try to identify what he was supposedly trying to do?
Yeah, what are your levels of occult?
5 of specialty in Infernalism.
And okay,
I got 4 and academics at 3 with theology.
Okay, well, so and does Thessalia have any occult? Not a thing. Okay.
Not at all.
It looks like in as much as it is wrong, you know, he has little gaps in the circle here and there, and his written Enochian, you know, drawn with the stumps of arms, is a little less legible than one might like. Maybe he should have gone with fingers or a brush. But it doesn't seem like he had the wherewithal to do that. But as much as a lot of it's wrong, there are some odd parts that are right. And it's just incomplete. So it's like he was... If he was given instructions on the circle, he was told a whole bunch of bullshit. But then someone threw in like a syllable of something powerful in there too. Not on the level of, like, say, an archduke. You know, there's no Asmodeus here, but something maybe not far below him in power. And so that's a bit concerning. But it could have been random. He could have just gotten lucky. Who knows? Now, he's just kind of sitting, squatting on his haunches.
So tell me, who taught you how to make this?
What? These are revelations. They were
Revelations.
They were delivered to me.
By what?
By whom?
Whom then?
Mr. Wright.
Do you recognize that name? Okay. Any significant vampire in the area with that as a last name?
Not to your knowledge.
And who is this Mr. Wright? Describe him.
He's the one who brought the secrets, that of darkness, that of grandmother. He had a cask, and from it spoke such sweet words to me. I learned how to call her. She awaits. She wants to return. Ashur has fallen. Ashur will rise. Being members of the Long Crusade, there's sort of general knowledge that you'll have as well, whether or not you're a student of the occult. It is believed that in the time of the Second City, Infernalism sort of snuck its way in there with a being known as Ashur. What the Tal'Mahe'Ra know about the Bali and others do not necessarily know is that Ashur was not a person, it was a place. It was a city where a tribe of people delved deep into the dark arcane arts, when even the Second City at its most decadent and most vile never reached these depths. Fallen Ashur has been sort of not a rallying cry amongst the Bali for centuries and millennia, but like a dream.
Would we have any reference or knowledge of who this grandmother could be?
That's new.
Mm.
All right, so this has actually piqued my interest again, so I'm going to come back to it. Calling on Ashur, are you?
What's that?
Calling on Ashur, are you?
Ashur will rise. We have
Are you
seen
summoning
it.
Are you summoning a storm or a war?
We are opening the maw, and from it will vomit forth the creatures of the dark. The world will be ours, as it once was.
If it was once yours, how did you lose it?
Betrayal. The children of Hakim. The children of Saulat.
So incompetence. Very good. So, what makes you think you are capable of doing this? Your knowledge is false. Your messenger was wrong. And you have a meat thermometer sticking out of your eye.
I am the harbinger.
And I just go pink on the meat thermometer.
Like further in or like up?
No, I just like flick it.
Oh, like.
So like it vibrates through his skull.
And he pulls it out. Blinks a tear of blood down his cheek and there are secrets in this land.
Well, perhaps we should go have a conversation about secrets.
And, okay, 1 second. What's your self-control or instinct?
3.
3? Okay. What would you say is Ambrose's greatest weakness?
His greatest weakness, besides being an absolute cunt to everybody?
Yes, that. Besides that one.
Besides that one.
Like weakness. Like what would, give him those.
Like psychological weakness is what you're thinking of, eh?
Yeah.
Losing favor with God.
Okay. All right. This is... Oh, I see you. You're the false. The one above. Actually, can everyone else either tell me their self-control or instinct?
Great.
3, okay.
-2.
Mine is also 2.
Okay.
It's the lower the better in this game, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yes, please, everyone. What is your greatest weakness? Let's start with Zephyrine.
Yeah, mine's would be a loss of control. The moment I feel like I'm not in control of a situation, is the moment that things start slipping slowly but surely.
Okay. Thessalia.
That's a great question. I'm not really sure.
Any
My mind goes, but
May I suggest losing your voice?
I was gonna say that. I was like, is that too much hitting the same thing over and over? Because it would be
I don't
bad
think
if
so.
you can't sing.
Nah, it's like a central pillar of the Daughters of... It's the central pillar of the Daughters of Cacophony, right?
Yeah.
Bloodlines are also very specialized in that sense, so they are kind of more focused in that way. So that'd be perfectly reasonable. You want to go with that?
Yep.
Okay. And Nikolai.
Probably going too deep and losing myself into demonic.
Okay. None of you are ready for what is coming. You've seen it. You cannot stop this. He points to Zephyrine. You want control. You cannot.
You mean
have
I
it.
have control? Look where I am standing, and look where.
And look
you're
what I
not.
did under your nose. Look what I have done. You. He turns his head to, or his gaze to Nikolai. I know you.
That's funny, I don't.
I was once you.
Really? Can you introduce me to myself then?
Yes, hiding it under sarcasm.
I'm not hiding. I just accept that I don't know anything.
And that will lead you deeper and deeper.
Which is where I want to go.
It is where you want to go. You will find it down there, in the dark, in the fire. Such sweet song. But what will you do? When your voice cannot command others, cannot inflict your will upon them. What will you do when it is gone? When the pit rises and you have no words left?
Casalia, is instinctively touching her throat, listening to this, looking worried.
I say, I imagine she'll find a new voice.
Yes, there are many voices down there. And man of the cloth, who has already failed the one above, and hides his fear of inadequacy by throwing himself in his favor again and again, seeking redemption. All will burn. What's everyone's courage?
3.
3, 3, 3, 3, and
3.
3. Okay.
It was a chart of fire difficulties, I believe.
What's
We were
that?
talking about fire. It was a chart of difficulties of fire.
Oh yeah, no, it's not about fire. Okay. Anatoliy, Ray, and two. Okay. So as he's speaking, you can feel his words kind of digging into the back of your skull and worming their way into your brains. Ambrose and Thessalia, the images he paints, the descriptions he gives are enough that well, okay. They start to provoke fear in you, and you can feel the beast rising, but not in a let's eat everything sense, in the holy fuck, let's get out of here sense. You can roll your courage to resist this. Difficulty is 6. You can also spend willpower to get the automatic success.
I got a success.
Got a success?
You said it was 6?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a success.
Okay.
Got 1 success.
1? Okay. For Zephyrine and Nikolai, the painting he or the picture he paints for you is so abhorrent that you haven't felt faint in quite some time. You may also make courage rolls. Difficulty 6.
Ooh, okie dokie. All right, let's see what we got.
I'll spend a willpower.
Okay. Yep.
Do I
But
spend
roll
a
just in
willpower?
case you botch.
Do I have to declare willpower before I roll or after?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Willpower's before.
Before. No, hold on. Do I want to risk it? Yeah, I'll risk it.
I rolled a 10 and a 1, so
Ooh, I got 3 successes.
so 0.
Okay. All right. So everyone succeeded ultimately. Okay. And you're able to sort of push these words out of your mind. How dare he find a way to twist your brains and your thoughts like that? Oh. Now he's still sitting there looking very smug and sinister. But then sort of stops, noticing that it hasn't really taken effect on you.
Yeah, I'm not going to give him the opportunity to do that again. I don't lose control of the situation. Everyone sees me take out a very well adorned knife that I carry.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm clearly going for the kill unless someone stops me.
Anyone want to
Just
stop?
put him in torpor.
Yes,
Put him in torpor. We can question
I
him
would
later.
want to stop him.
You would want to stop?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would want to grab his hand to stop.
Yeah.
To hold it for a second.
Yes.
And while this is going on, Desali's just going to like hum a little funeral dirge.
All right.
I suggest we just invite him to one of our homes. I'm sure we have more persuasive things we can do to him there.
No, the only vomit that comes out of this one's mouth is just useless drivel.
Mm.
Yes, but people let things slip.
No,
I
don't.
switch to Nokian
Mm-hmm.
and just go to him. So what now that you failed?
There will be there will be others. Others.
Yes, I'm sure there will.
I suppose I should try to find out who he is at least. I grab a syringe and take a vial of his blood.
He struggles to his feet. No. No, I will not let you make me betray my kin.
Failure is worse than betrayal. I can let you live with that.
No. And he starts trying to run.
I made time. I assure you, everyone talks. You should know that. Yeah, anyone who's been a guest of this meeting always ends up talking. And I give him a smile.
And he starts running. Towards the hallway.
Okay.
At this point, I'm definitely going for the kill.
All right.
I'm just like, no. Before you go for the kill, I just go. We still have our friends out there with rifles. Just tell them to shoot the first thing that comes out the door.
Yeah.
No, I don't want the appearance that we let one go. That there was one that was able to even outrun us is already a failure in my eyes.
Killed by the kind is a far greater.
He's polite.
So,
he's partway down the hallway now.
Yeah, I have.
I'm just
Clarity 3.
Yep.
So I'm going to, at the very least, stand in front of the door. You know, try to use my essentially like super speed to.
You can get ahead of him with that.
Yeah, get ahead, and then, if not kill, seriously injure or maim this person.
Okay. Well, make a dexterity and melee roll.
All right.
And
My dex is 5, and my melee is 5.
Okay. And you want to just try to go for an instant kill best you can?
I would say at this point, yeah, I'm going to go for the kill. I rolled a 10, 5, 7, 5, 1, 10, 9, 3, 9, 10.
Okay.
So I have 3 10s in there as well.
All right.
You have a specialty?
Yeah. Do you have,
Life?
I don't. I actually haven't done specialties.
you could put blades or something like that.
Yeah, it would be short bladed melee weapons.
But they'll count twice. Each time it counts 2. Specialty.
So sorry, how many difficulty of 6, I believe.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes. 3 of those successes are 10s. So let me know if I should roll those again.
No, it counts double.
Oh, okay.
It counts twice. So you have 9.
Okay. Well, he tries to get out of the way of it. And he gets 1 success. So you have 8 successes. This is lethal damage. 8 successes. Where? Oh, knife. What's your strength?
My strength is 2.
So, plus 1 damage for the knife, so it's 3 damage plus 8 successes, so 11 dice.
Okay, so I roll 11d10?
Yep.
Alright. 11d10. We got a 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 8, 10.
Oh, sorry. Difficulty is, I think just 6 still.
So
I think it's a 6 for damage, but could be
What's
wrong.
that?
I'm pretty sure it's always 6 for damage.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Yep. So count 6s. 6 or higher.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8 6s or higher?
Yep.
Okay. So he'll Okay. So he runs for the door, and stepping in the way, well, a blur as Zephyrine makes it in front of him, sweeps with her knife, and severs his head. He collapses into a pile of ash. And that's where we'll wrap for tonight. So, let's go around. Everyone can say who they were, well, who they are, who they were, and if you want to plug anything evergreen, go for it. Let's go in reverse order this time. Ray.
I am Ray. I played Nikolai today. It was a lot of fun. I don't have anything to plug, so have a good night, everybody.
All right. Suni.
Hey, I'm Suni. I played Thessalia, and you can find me on Wham Bam Narrow Tan on IG.
All right.
This was a good time. Like that.
Nice. Totally.
Hey everybody, I'm Toli. I played Zephyrine. I don't have anything to plug either, but I had a fantastic time. And I got first blood. Hey.
And last but not least, Ryan.
Yes, I'm Ryan. I played Ambrose, the La Sombra doctor theologian. If you're ever in the Toronto area, you can check out Goodfellas, it's a radio production company I work with, or check me out on Instagram at Ryan of Toronto, where you can find cat pictures and the occasional DJ gig.
Nice. Nice. All right, and I am Simon. I was, and will continue to be, I mean, unless something happens, the storyteller of this game. And you can find me here on YouTube at Tabletop Almanac. You can find me on Twitter at Tabletop Almanac. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Tabletop Almanac, if I'm ever on Twitch. And check out the other actual plays on the channel. We have a completed 100th Vigil series and an Alien one in progress. And you can also find me sometimes over at Dork Tales or the Onyx Path Twitch channel. Hope everyone had a good time, and we have the opening moves in All the Devils Are Here, a Chronicle of the Black Hand. Be well, everyone, and we will see you next time. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.